Whoop whoop, and welcome to the Batgirljamie Show. This is a long time coming. I've had this in my mind for a long time because I've been using a lot of social media sites, and I think the perfect social media site would be taking the best of all the social media sites that I have ever used. And first of all, you log in, there's tabs. One's for newsfeed. That's where people post stuff on their wall. Actually, there's a home screen. Then there's tabs on the top. And the home screen is where you post your status and see people that you can add and all that. Then there's the news feed, which is where people post stuff. Then there's a one for music. Then there's one for video. That's two. Then there's one for blogs. And then there's one for podcast. And you can do everything through that one site. And if you're a band, or you can either music or bands, but then it's all for you people to promote their band. So you don't have to go to 50 different sites. That's one thing I liked about mine. And when you go to people's profiles or your profile, you can, if you go to people's profile, you can comment on their profile like you used to on MySpace, and it will go down into the comments, and then their wall would be full of their stuff. And then when you're on their profile, there'd be their profile, and there would be a separate section for their news feeds. There'd be like two tabs, and then they can have music on their profile based on what people put up for music, and people can add it to a playlist on their profile, and it can automatically start or not automatically start, just like old MySpace days. And when you go to their profile, if they've got a band, it would always automatically take you there. And if they got a blog, they could automatically take you there. And if they got a podcast, you could automatically take you there. So, and if you post videos, you can automatically put it there. That would be so awesome. And for all those people that don't get paid on YouTube, they could just switch over to this, and it would be mixed into your social media. Then you would have it on one. And when you go to blogs, you just see what people post for blogs. Or you can post to your blog right from there. And you can reshare everything just like on Tumblr. But it's all part of each little part of a site. And then you don't have to go to all these different sites to get what you need. You have all one site. That would be so much easier and so much more nicer. I wish they had a site like that. That's what MySpace used to be, where you could go and you could go to people's profile and see what kind of music they like, and if they like the same kind of music, you might go to a person's site and music might be playing, and next thing you know, and then if you want, then have it be just where the messenger's always on the bottom of it. And if you want to listen to music through the site, you can, or watch a video or whatever not. And you don't have to have 50 different sites to do this one thing. You don't have to have a separate app to log into Messenger. You don't have to have a separate app. Yeah. So you log in, and then you got like your home page, and it can be whatever the site's called, and then you got your main home page, which there'll be tabs, and it'll be main or home. Then it'll be newsfeed. Then it'll be blog, music. They could call it TV. And then they could have podcast. So you could listen to people's podcast right through that site. And then or you could watch their videos right through their site. And all that. Then when you go to your profile, it'll have different categories where you can fill out the information, like your favorite music artist. And if you want to add a picture to that section, it'll let you have a spot where you can upload a picture to that box. You can have up to so many pictures on your profile, like one per box. One or two per box. And you can have instead of having link instead of having to do HTML, you just add a picture and you can drag it around where you want it. And then that would be your profile, and it tells you all about yourself. Like you have each little tab one would be for about me, one would be favorite music, favorite TV shows, favorite movies, favorite books, favorite games, favorite websites, and then you could heroes, people I want to meet, and then that would be your tabs. And as you go down, you just, and it would just be like you scrolled up and it would be there. and you could have whatever background you wanted, whatever picture you wanted for your background, you could put whatever picture you wanted, and whatever color you wanted your writing, you could have it that color. So basically your profile picture could be whatever you wanted, and then they could give you different music players you wanted, or you could just choose the colors of your music player. Basically, it'd be like a regular music player, like most sites have that do let you still do that. And you could have one little music player on your site, and you could have up to a certain number of music on there, or you could have up to like say 10 songs on your playlist, and that'd be your 10 favorite songs right now. Or you could have a number, however many songs the site wanted you to allow. But you get a limit. And for each box you'd get something like 300 you get something like 300 characters per box underneath that to write a description about you, your likes and shit. One box could be for foods you like, and so music and all that on your profile. Then you can have whatever you want for a background, and that would be it. And then that would be your profile. You wouldn't have to do any HTML like all MySpace did, and it would be simple. I think that, and then on your blog you could have a special background, and you could have headers for you could follow. You don't have to follow and add people as friends to follow their blog. You can just follow their blog and their videos, and you can follow their music. But if you want to talk to them, actually talk to that person, you have to follow their actual profile, which would be like, say, and you can have nicknames, and your nickname would be your @ symbol, and that would be so you could tag them, just like they do on what sites do that? Instagram does that, and so does Twitter. And you can use hashtags. And when you use hashtags on there, it would do the same thing as it does on Twitter and Instagram. You could go to all the feed, and it would show every feed that pull up every feed that does that. I think that site would, and then I don't know if it should have games or not. And there should be certain things on the, and then if they really need to make money from us, they could make us pay to further it. They could have games. They could get games like MySpace, like face, like in a separate tab, and let us play games, and if we want to get farther in the game or buy certain things for the game, I wouldn't make us beg people to give you things for the game. I just make it, if you want that thing, you have to pay for it. Certain things in the game, each game you have to pay for, and if you want to play you could have separate apps for the games like MySpace does, and those games would be attached to that site. So the game would be owned by that site. So that's the only way you can play the games, is if you get on the computer or get the app for the game. But the music and all the rest of the blog part and all that would go hand in hand with your profile, and you could also upload and decorate your profile right through the app. But if you have a special background, that wouldn't really show up unless you're on the computer. You could have special backgrounds or whatnot. And then if they wanted, they could sell you special backgrounds that they made for it. That would be a good way for a new site to be that would be a little bit more everything that people like to do, and a little bit you could have like 1,000 character limit on your blog, on everything except for your post would have a 500 character limit. Like when you write on a post, it'd have a 500 character limit. I think that's a good idea. But your blogs could have unlimited, and then your each little box on your profile, that like your they could have 1,000 character limit for each thing, and you could have up to 2 pictures allowed on there. Like they could have about me, then they could have things I like, then they could have music, TV, books, movies. If you don't fill anything out in that, then it wouldn't even show up. Movies, books, meet people I want to meet, and then they could have heroes, and they could have foods. And then on the side of your profile, they could have you a questionnaire, kind of like my yearbook used when it was around. On the side of your profile, you could fill out this section that you can constantly change, and you could go, when you log in, it'll be on the home page, it'll be at the top, these few questions. It'll be what you're reading recently, what you're reading most recently, and you can change it whenever you want. What you're reading, what you're watching, what video games you're playing, or what games you're playing recently, and basically what you're drinking, and that would be like at there, and you can change that easily. And with that, there would be a mood. You could have a mood set for your profile. Right in that box, the top one would be your mood. And then when you create a post, you can do like you do on MySpace and have like watching, and you can say you're watching and have a quote about it, and watching, and you could say what you're watching, and then a picture would show up. If that particular movie has a profile on there, it would come. You could have like pages on there. You could have pages just like Facebook, or a group. Like say I'm a YouTuber, so you could there'd be another tab for pages, and you could go into pages instead of it being hard to get your pages and all that. If you follow a page, it automatically would show up in your pages. If you want to see the stuff for your pages, you go to the thing the newsfeed for page. If you follow a page, so basically when you're in your newsfeed, if you follow a page, it would be just like a person's profile, so it would go up in your newsfeed, so you wouldn't miss it, and it would go based on who posted for the newest. So it would go from newest to oldest based on who posted, and you wouldn't miss anything, and they wouldn't strip some of that stuff out as spam. It would just be all there. And if you didn't like what people post, you could unfollow them or block them, whatever. As long as you don't post nudity, I think that site would work, and people would love it because there'd be more to do. And instead of having 20 sites, instead of having to go all these different sites for stuff. And you could choose the color. There'd be like, you could have you could choose the color of your home screen and make it a little bit more what you customize to you and what your needs are. If you don't want blogs, you don't even have to go to it, but it's there and people can read them. And like how 25, like your news channels would have a Facebook page and a Twitter, they could have like a page on there. Once you're in a profile, like say you're a YouTuber, you could create a page just on Facebook, but it would actually show up in your news feed. But if you're not seeing, but if the pages you follow, but if you go into pages, that's how you post on your page. You just create a post. You just go to your pages, create a post, and if you want it to go to all your, you could have the option, unlike Facebook. This is one thing I don't like about Facebook pages. If you run or you're share, you could give people other people permission to post on these pages too. Like if you got a really good homie and you do a web show with them and you want to share a page with them, so that you guys don't have to have separate pages for it. You could both post on it. But if you got like say 5 pages that you're running for different topics, and you got one thing that pertains to all of the topics that would be good for all of them, and you want to post it on all of them, then it could say pick one page or all of them, or it would have dots for what you have to click a dot for which page you want it shared on. One would be, it would automatically go to the, and every time you post in there, it would go to the last one you posted, and if you want it on all, you can say all, or you got a drag down thing. First one would be all, and then it would go to different pages. And you pick which page you want it to share it on, and if you want it on all your pages, it would go out there, but it would go out there as separate. That would be great. That way you could. So if I was trying to get more Twitter followers for Twitter, because I like to read Twitter as like a news site, a news feed and stuff, so that would be great. That's how I would do the pages. When you go into pages, that's what you'd go there for, is to post to your pages, and then it would only show post from pages when you're in there. You'd have, the top would be to post, and then you would have all the news from just your pages you followed. And all you have to do is, you don't have to like the page, you just have to follow it. What would something you would want to see in a social media site? Comment below. Because like I was saying, for this new viewer that's in here, I'm going to go back over my things that I would like for a social media site that I think would make the perfect site. Okay, you log in, and here's your home screen. Your home screen lets you share your post, create a post, like share a picture or something. And then on the side, there's these little questions like food you're eating and stuff, and it will be, and you can edit them and be like food, reading, eating. It'd be eating, drinking, watching, which would be like movies or TV shows. Watching, eating, drinking, watching, reading, listening, which would be music or like a audiobook or something. And then gaming, you'd be playing, which would be like a gaming for a game. And then it'd have a spot for a quote. And then it'd have talking to. And then it would, on the top, very top, it would have mood. And then it'd have all those. And then it would have your friends below, all your friends. And on your profile, you have a top 10 friends for people to look at. And if they want to see more, they have to say more. And underneath your friends, each one, it would say add as friend. It'd have an add button, a little add button underneath everybody's profile pic. Everybody's profile pic under your top 8. So all your people that see your profile, if they want to follow the same people you're following because they know the same people, they can follow them and it's simpler. And then there'd be like suggestions on the side and it would just have a follow button just like Facebook. That'd be your home screen. But when you go to your profile and you got the boxes like Facebook did. I mean, MySpace used to have back in the day where you could have music and all books and TV shows, things I like, about me, things I like, then music, movies, TV, books, games, who I want to meet, and heroes. But I put my who I want to meet and heroes on the other, a separate side, so it'd be 2 columns, and you could have up to 2 pictures on each column, and you just can upload them right through that each box, and each box would have a limited number of things. And then underneath your on your second side, underneath where it says who you want to meet or your heroes, you can move them boxes around and have them where you want them, like in the order you want, by dragging them. And then the very last box on the right hand side would be your top 8 people, and then if they click view all, you can view all your friends. Unless somebody has if somebody has a private profile, if you make your profile private, they cannot add you without your email address. Or the only way they could see you on there is if you have a mute. You can have the option of people adding you by having to know your email address if you want that kind of security privacy. But you don't have to. But your friend, you could have a top 8 friends, or top 10 friends, and they'd go up on your profile. So, and that would be how your profile would be set up. And then if you want, you could have underneath, before your top 10 friends, you could have blogs I follow, and you could also have channels I follow, I'd call it channels, where the video part is, and that would be a separate tab. Once you click on someone's name, you can go to their profile and add them. Or when you're on someone's profile and you see their top 8 friends, there'd be like a plus sign underneath each of the names, so that you didn't have to go to their profile. But if you click on their picture, it goes to their profile. A box would come up if you click add or accidentally click add when you're trying to go view someone's profile. It'll ask you, do you want to add this person? Yes, or cancel. Just so you don't accidentally add somebody that you don't want to be friends with. Okay, so that's how your profile would be set up. Okay, you're on your home screen. Then the second screen would be newsfeed. Home screen would be where you add profiles and go and find new friends, because they'd have a suggestion box, or it had to have a box for suggestion and a box for new people, and you could click on either new people or suggested people, like mutual people that have mutual followers. There'd be one for mutual followers and one for new users that just joined on there, and then you'd have your news feed, which just shows people that you're following, and pages that you're following. It would show all their latest news feed posts based on newest to oldest, and then the next one would be your music. No, it'd be blogs, where everybody can go and create a blog and post, and you follow blogs. And then if they click on your name, you can go, and if they click on your name next to your blog post, it'll bring you up to your blog, and you can name your whatever you want. Like, say I wanted to name my blog Batgirljamie, the Batgirljamie Cave, or something like that, then I could. People would just click on, and then it would have a special user symbol, because you could create your own logo for it, and then it would, when you click on that, it would bring up people's blog if they wanted to, if they had a blog, and you could share their post if you wanted, and their blog could have a background, and then it would have their post that they post. Then the next tab would be music, then video, and when you're in music, you can go to different profiles of music artists, and it'll have suggested artists that based on what you've already liked. You could like music artists or follow. No, you just follow them. You just follow them. You follow blogs and you follow music artists. Then we've got channels, and channels would be for people that want to create video and be like a YouTuber, and you can create up to 25-minute videos, and you can have logos and everything you get with YouTube, and you get a channel, and it would, whoever you follow on there, you could watch their videos. Basically, on your news feed, whoever you follow, if you just want to see music, it would be there. But on your news feed, it would be everything from newest to oldest, blog post and everything. And you can't share the blog post wouldn't even be there, but the music wouldn't be. Music would be there though. Music would go into your news feed, and it would be like, if you but music, like if they post a new song, it would just be notification, blank blank blank, post a new song, and then it would just show it on your news feed. But your blog post, nothing for blogs would show up there because it's too much. But then you'd have another one for podcast, a separate, another post place for podcast. And then podcast would you could have up to an hour podcast. You could have up to an hour podcast posted up there. And you'd have to go to the podcast tab to see all the new podcast. But you have to follow them. You can search for once you're in the podcast tab. There'd be sub tabs that would say new podcast, browse, and for once you follow, and then you could go to yours by clicking on the logo for yours, and you can have a podcast. Because me and Twisted J want to have a podcast, and if you want to have your podcast be shared with other people, like if you want to have, if you're like sharing a YouTube, if you want to like share a channel with more than one person, you can have up to 2 channels. Whether you share it with another person or you can have one of your own and then one you share. And you can have up to 2 logos on your channel. You can have up to 2 YouTube channel. Like, it'd be like YouTube, but it'd be called say the site's called um um I don't know what to call the channel. Call the site Hang Star or something like that, or I don't know. But then you can have up to 2 channels, okay? And if you want one to be co-owned, you can pick up to 2 people to co-own it with you, and they can create post and do everything you can do, but the only thing they can't do is take away your admin to the post and take away anybody else's admin to the post. Whoever originally created the channel has full access to it and can take people's admin away. That's the only person that can take people's admin away, and you don't have any option to make somebody full admin. And they can post all they want videos on that channel, and they can host live. Oh yeah, you can host live streams through that channel button. You can be live or post a video. And then on your home screen, there'd be like on the top, it'd be for stories like Instagram and stuff, but you could slide it across and you can have filters and shit, and you can have um you can link it to your Instagram and link it to you can share your stuff to you could have a special thing where you post links to your other social medias on your profile at the top, like where it says your name, your username, whatever crazy username you want, and then your when you're there, you say where you're from, your age, your birth date, your sexual orientation, and then other social media sites you're on. You could have links for them right there on your profile, which is great. Then you do your podcast. Your podcast is basically the same. You can share your podcast channel with one or two other people, up to 2 other people, and they cannot delete or take you away from being admin. You're permanently the owner of that. No one else can, and that would be it. I wouldn't do the stories or anything like that on Instagram, but what I would do is do it like that. That way you can listen to all your podcasts right there. Famous when someone wants to tag you in something, all they gotta do is just like Instagram. Not Instagram, Twitter. Pull up your @ and your username. So say I'm at Batgirljamie, so it'd be at Batgirljamie. I love your blah 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 blah, whatever you want to say. Hashtag YouTube or hashtag channel. We'll call it say our site's called Super Friends or Super Friends. I love your SF channel. Blah blah blah. hashtag, or you can do @ in this channel name. Like say my channel is called Batgirljamie Loves or Batgirljamie 2. So it'd be @ Batgirljamie 2. There'd be pages. If you create a page, there'd be another tab for pages. And pages will be ran like a group where you could if you want to post on there, there'd be 2 tabs on your there'd be posted by the hi Alex. I'm just talking about social media site that I think would be really great if they created this social media site, because it would give you the best of everything all in one and let you create stuff for free. And then if you want to do more than an hour podcast, yeah, here's things, the reasons why to pay for the site. Here's would be, and then you'd have a pay premium version for $10 a month. You get unlimited podcasts, longer videos, like you can do you can only do 15-minute videos. Like they could limit the amount of time you could do for videos. Like say you're only allowed to do 15 minutes, but you can do live streams and they can stay up. The only and if you let us put ads on your podcast and your videos, we'll pay you a percentage after you've been on there a year. You have to be on the site for a year to be paid, and you'd get a percentage. I just do it 50-50. The site gets 50% for hosting it, and you get the other 50% straight up. And then you could have super chat. You can have super chats where people could give money, and that would go directly to your PayPal, and you get paid. I would take PayPal to PayPal. And people could pay you, like tip you, and we take 1%. If no, I wouldn't even do that. I would just let people, if they want to tip you, tip through PayPal to your PayPal, and we just pay through to PayPal from PayPal. And you could cash out once a month. No matter how much you make, you could cash out to PayPal. Or you could set it to automatically cash out at the end of the month. Or you can set it to cash out when you make a certain amount of money. Or you can set it to you choose when you want to, or you choose when you're ready to. You could have it to automatically cash out at a certain amount of dollars, or automatically cash out at the end of the month, or you can have it set to cash out. You can only cash out once a month though. Or you can set it to cash out when you feel like it, so you can let it build up for a while and then cash out. I think this site would be cool. You wouldn't have to do anything like Vigo video. You could make YouTube videos. When you do videos, they'd be like YouTube videos, or you can do short stories. Like on the top, it would be short stories, and then there'd be YouTube, the channel videos. So like if you don't have a channel, you can do short stories in that section where it says channels. And on newsfeed, that would be on the top of newsfeed too, so you can do it there. And be like the videos like you do on Snapchat or Facebook stories or Instagram stories, so you have that feature there too. Because that's something people like, and I know people use it. And when you post a status, it could automatically go to your story. And if you want to post a video, on your news feed and not be like in the stories, you can do that too. Like if you just have a short little video you just want to post as a status, and that would just go on your wall, and it wouldn't go in your video, your channel, and it wouldn't go in your story unless you asked it to. And there could be an option where it could go there too. And if it goes to your videos, and you can have your videos all set to a default status, just like YouTube, so that when default status for your videos. So even if you tell it to go there and make a video, it would create it. It would upload it to there too, and that would stay on there as a video. But it would be like, and okay, you can't. Only thing you can't post to your channel is copyrighted material, like a song or something. If you wanted to do that, you could do it through like a story. And you can go live with it. As long as you have a channel created, you can go live. You can go live as your profile, or you can go live as your channel. You see what I mean? And people can, and if you get 1,000 followers, you cannot get paid for your video channel unless you have at least 100 you have to have at least 100 followers and at least be on there for a year. So people would have to use the site for a year to get paid, and you'd have to get at least 100. You'd have to get a minimum of 15 views per video, to unique views, to get paid. So if you're not getting 10 views, the only way you can keep being paid on this site was you'd have to upload one video. You'd have to upload at least one video a month to stay being paid. I think that would be great. Like when you go live, it would archive it into your channel, just like YouTube does with your default status that you set up. And your channel could have a background of however your channel would have a logo, a header, just like Facebook, just like YouTube does. And this site would be a rival for you. Oh yeah, and then there'd be a separate little box that stays on the bottom that you can minimize or make bigger, and it would be your chat box. And it'd be like the old MySpace, how old MySpace did it, and how Facebook does it now. And then we'd have separate apps for each one if you wanted them separate. If you don't really want the whole site, but you just want the video part, you can do it each app. You can have separate apps, so you can have the whole site in an app. I just think that would be a cool social media site. What do you guys think? Would you use a site if it was like that? And if you know anybody who's looking to create a social media site and don't know what to do with it, that's what I think people should do with it. Like, bands should be able to post their music there, and you should be able to go to your favorite band site and see music and hear their new music. And if they want to put up one song for you, they want to put up music for people to get and listen to, that's fine. And if they want to let people be able to download that song, that's their choice. If they want to make it downloadable, yes. If they don't, and they want to make it to where you can just use it on their profile, and if they want to where they have to be a premium member to use that song, they can do that too. You know, there's certain things that you get when you're premium. Like if you're a premium member, you get special layouts for your, you get special backgrounds for your profile. You get coins. Instead of giving thumbs up, you give coins to people. Like if you're a premium, you can give coins to people and they can use them coins to get things that are premium. Like a premium package would be like, there'd be different levels of premium. Like there'd be a dollar pack, there'd be a package for $1, package for something. You could have coins and you could tip people with the coins. And once they have so many coins, they can either use the coins convert into like something like something, and you could we could add something like what LiveMe does and have people be tipped. Like when they're on their videos they could be tipped. They could be tipped. And you could start, like, instead of having, another site, perfect thing on for this site would be chat rooms. Another spot would be chat rooms where you can go and meet new people and talk to them. Because and you could create your own chat room based on different topics. That's another thing that would be really cool. And you could call it, say your chat is all about supernatural, so you could say the CW is supernatural, and that would be your chat site. Or if you want a Juggalo chat room, you could say Juggalo Family Chat, or the Dark Carnival. If you say the Dark Carnival, most jugglers are going to know that's what the topic is, and they'll just come in there and start chatting with you. And if they want to be able to message you, they have to add you as a friend, and you have to accept for them to be able to talk to you out of the chat room. That's all my suggestions for a social media site. If you think that that would be a great social media site, go so there'd be like 5 or 6. Okay, so there'd be like the home screen for you to log in, where you log in and you post your statuses and you change your little what you're up to things, like what you're eating and drinking and stuff. Then you'd have your news feed, which shows all your pages you follow. Would have the pages part where you find new pages and you follow them. You follow pages. You don't add pages, you follow pages. And if you want to post to a page, on the home screen it would say you're posting, and ask you if you want to post to a page or a thing, and then it would ask you what page, and you can actually share it to which would be cool. You could actually share to all your pages at once. Every single page that you're an admin to. And on your page, you could have as many admins on your pages as you want. But no one can take whoever's the original creator of a page is the main owner. They can't make anybody that's the only person that's allowed to take away admins of somebody. And that's the only person that's your admin. Your other admins are there to block people. They can't block you. That's illegal. That would be not allowed. And you could the only thing they could do is block people that are swearing. Oh, and on your pages, if someone wants, you could use your pages like a group for chat. For like, it'd be like a group / chat. It'd be like what Facebook groups are, where people could post stuff and you see it, but it'd show up as them, but it'd be in the group. It'd be like, okay, so when it comes up on your news feed, it would be blank post, and it'd have an arrow, and it would say the name of the thing, just like it does on LiveMe and it would be like what they posted. That means they posted it there. If the one of the ads post to MeWe in that chat, I mean in that page or slash group, whatever you want to call it, it would show up as that page, and it would just say blank posted, and it'd be the post. Okay, and then you have the ads. When you post something, if you want to say something to at somebody, you can say at Batgirljamie is a thing. You do it the same way you do it at you could do that. Then we have pages. That would be where you find more pages to follow, and you go to the actual page so you can read all the posts from that page if you're interested. And when it's on this feed, if you click on their icon for the page, you can go to that whole page and follow it and like and stuff. And you can share. Okay, when you're on the newsfeed, you can reshare anything unless someone made private. Then you have the music. You have the blogs. No, you have the channels, blog, and blog. And we're not going to have the podcast because we wouldn't really need the podcast. If we wanted podcast, we could say podcast would be in the music section. And if you want music and podcast, it would be all in the same spot. It'd be music podcast, and you could create a podcast network in there that would be like your channel for your YouTube or page for your and you get a limited amount of minutes. You get a limited number of songs for free. Like say you can have 20 songs uploaded to your you can have only 20 songs on if you're a band if you don't pay for it. And you can only have say 1 hour podcast every week. You can have up to 4 1 hour podcasts a month on there. Then you'd have your blog, and your blog would be where you post blog, where you find new blogs to follow, and it goes down. Like there'd be search button on each one, so you can search for new music and stuff. Then your profile, you set it up like you do the old MySpace, where you have about me, you have your unfriend, friend, unfriend. Then you have and then you have the little box. You have your profile picture, and your music would be underneath what sex you are, your sexual orientation, where you're from, what school you went to, and all that would be there. And if you want, if someone's down on the bottom where you'd have your friends, above that you could have family, like your family members that are on there that are your actual family, and say underneath it your sister, blah blah blah, and you could have up to like say 20 of those. And then underneath that you could have your top 10 friends. They have to approve you to be a family, and then it would just automatically show up, and you can arrange the order you want them in. And then instead of having a separate spot for podcasts like I was going to, I'd make that with the music/podcast, and then I'd have chat rooms so people could go in and meet new people and just talk and have a group conversation. Or you can have role playing where you role play, like say you guys like Supernatural, you could role play Supernatural and pretend to be the character that you like. Each one could take a character, and it could be like a role play. And on your podcast, you could write And on your blog, you could, if you like, you could find fan fiction blogs in there that you can read. Like my friend likes to read fan fiction, so I think that would be cool. Um, I think this whole site would be cool if we had this site. So if someone's got money and wants to make this site, you're free to take my ideas. But I think that all that um, games would be the very, very last tab after chat rooms, and there'd be games. And if you, it'd be like MySpace, where you, when you play a game, if you pay for the game, our site would get the money, and we'd get the we'd get a percentage of the money for people buying points for the game, and they buy it through cards that they could either put their credit card in and buy the stuff, or they could get a gift card that's from our site. Like say our site was called um, let's see, let's be, how about friend me, friend me. You could call the site friend me or something like that. I think that'd be a cool site name. Friend me, my friend, my friend space or something like that, or my friend place, my friend page, my friend page or something like that, and that would be the name of the site or something like that. There you go. I'm done. I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think and see what you guys, would you guys use a site like this? Comment below. If you like this and you think this is a great idea, thumbs this up. If you like me doing where I tell you my ideas for something that I can't follow through with because I don't have the money and know-how, um, and I just want to throw that idea out for someone else, that would be the ultimate social media where we do everything in one site. And you can, and if you want to reshare, you can have up to five. You could have a certain number of blogs and that for different topics, and you could have a certain number of podcasts. You have a certain number. You can have 2 channels, and you can have up to 2 people be sharing the channel, so they can post onto it too, and it would automatically show up in their channels for them on their profile when you add them. Admin, it's basically called admin them, and they cannot delete the channel. They cannot delete any videos. The only things they can delete are things they posted themselves. They can't delete stuff that other people posted. They can only delete stuff they posted themselves. So if you're sharing a blog, you could share admin to a blog with that, with up to so many users. You get so many admins, like say 5 per channel, and you could just collaborate. That'd be like easier for like, so they don't really have the login to it. So if you take them off being an admin, they can no longer do anything to that channel. So they're not affecting the channel. But if that channel, okay, so if another profile, if you're sharing a channel, here's how it would work. If you're sharing a channel, you can do Hangouts too, where you add people into your live streams, just like YouTube, but you wouldn't need a separate app for that, like Hangouts. All you would need is that site, and you could add them into video. You can invite them into video once you're live. You can invite people as long as they got this site. You just pick a users into your video. That would be great, a feature. But like I said, for paying people, if you guys got paid through doing videos or podcasts or something, after we put ads on your video, after you've been on the site long enough, if you are sharing a podcast with somebody or a channel with somebody, whatever you post, that money goes to you. They can tell which user that has that posted it, what account it posted from, and it'll show up as the channel, and then it'll show up by user, but it'll channel. But the channel will be, so whoever follows that channel, whether it be the person, so whoever follows that channel can see that video, but it says which actual file user, like your user, your login, it shows that underneath the video, but it shows it as your channel, and then that person gets paid for that video, not the whole channel, not as a whole channel, but as that person. So they make their own individual money, but they can post to that particular channel. If that channel is allowed to be paid, then that channel, if that channel gets enough followers to be paid, they have to have a certain number of followers. Like, say, I'd only make them have to have 500. I'd make it something low, like 500 followers, and you have to post at least once a month to be paid, to be eligible to be paid, and get people to watch it. And I think it'd be easier if all in one site was done all in one site. That way we wouldn't have to use 50 different sites, and I think it'd blow up. So, that being said, I'm going to get off of here. And if you like this idea, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this idea, throw me what your ideas are in the comment for a social media site. If you think that's too much, or if you think that's perfect, makes it easier because you're all on one site. If you want to have a channel together, like, say, the Carnival Spirits, and you want your that number of people into your channel, and you want to have all them together in a video, you could invite them, and it would show up on their home screen, in the notification box on their home screen, that you're being in your messages. It would show that you're being invited to go live with them, and you could go live, and you can go right from your phone and all that, and they would go live with you and be a group effort. And you could take the profits and say, do a giveaway with the profits. Like, if I started making a lot of profits off of YouTube, I would take 1/10 of the profits and give it away as gifts if I had the money. But I don't. Or I'd start doing really some challenges. But that being said, I'm going to get off of here. I would say I would allow 30-minute videos at max. And if you want longer, then you can go live as long as you want, and they'll stay up. But that's all I've got to say. So I'm going to get off here. Thanks for watching. If you think this is a great idea, tell me what you think of this, because I think this is a great idea. This would bring the best of all social media together again. My yearbook was so great when it was kind of like this, except for it didn't have the live streaming. My yearbook didn't have the live streaming. It takes old MySpace, mixes it with old My Yearbook, and mixes it together with what the best of Facebook has, and then what YouTube has and Twitter has, and takes them. Like, Twitter's good. Like, if you want to allow people to follow you, if they follow you, they can't message you until you add them as a friend. But you can follow them, and number of friends you can have is unlimited. So you can have as many friends as you want. You can follow as many people as you want. But you can only follow a certain, I do like Twitter, where you can only follow a certain amount of percentage over the people that's following you. Other than that, I'm going to get off here. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.